Good day, good day, good day, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome to Living Life in Joy. I am Rev Melissa, and it's wonderful to be with you all today. I am, just by way of introduction, I am an interfaith minister. I'm a licensed religious science practitioner. I'm a spiritual life coach, and I am the spiritual director, senior minister at Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living here in New York. And I say that all of that, every last bit of it is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy, connected to their yes. So we are in April, and if you haven't heard, I decided to extend Women's History Month into April. So we are celebrating women who are doing their thing right now, right? Right now, who are making a difference in the world because they are connected to their yes, they are connected to their life's purpose. And so I have a wonderful guest today who is a demonstration of yes in a very powerful way. So without further ado, let's go, set, ready. All right, all right. So it is my honor and pleasure to share with you today's guest. Our guest today is Tenzin Kiyosaki, and she was born. I want to put up her website. There she is. Beautiful. She was born and raised in Hawaii amidst a large extended family. In her early 20s, she started studying Buddhist teachings of the Dalai Lama and first studied in India in 1975. Tenzin was a single mom, but when her daughter was 16, Tenzin returned to India to receive ordination from the Dalai Lama and lived in a small nunnery in the Himalayas. She practiced as a nun for 27 years, was a resident teacher for a small center in Colorado, and was the first Buddhist chaplain at the U.S. Armed Force Academy for 6 years. Currently, Tenzin works as an interfaith hospice chaplain. It was during this period that Tenzin determined to return to her Masonic vows to be more fully available and present with her patients and their families. She is the author of the 3 Regrets, Inspirational Stories and Practical Advice for Love and Forgiveness at Life's End, and the co-author of Rich Brother, Rich Sister with her entrepreneurial brother, Robert Kiyosaki. Tenzin is currently renovating her uh, RV to be her retreat home in the high desert. Tenzin can be reached at her website, tenzinkiyosaki.com, for coaching, questions, and I love that she says, or just to say hello. So it's my pleasure to introduce you all to Tenzin Kiyosaki. Hi, Tenzin.
Hi.
It's so wonderful to have you on Living Life in Joy. Thank you for saying yes.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I love the introduction that you have for your program,
Oh,
Spirit
thank
in
you.
Practice.
Thank you so much. So we are on, the show airs on New Thought Media Network. And so the beginning of the show, you saw their introduction, which I also love very much. High vibration, right?
Very.
Yes. So Tenzin, let's get into it. I read your bio and I was just struck by the journey of your life. So can you share with us, like, what is your testimony? What led you on this path?
I think life experiences keep waking us up.
Mm,
And rather than hiding, I think we have to engage in the journey.
mm,
And so I jumped several times. And the opportunities keep coming. I feel it's so important to use this life in learning and stretching our heart
yes,
and really engaging with others.
yes, yes. So from Hawaii to India, that's a big jump, Tenzin, right?
Very big jump.
And so, what led you to take that jump?
I had friends who were going, they were planning a trip there, and I lived so long in Hawaii. I was born and raised there. I
Mhm,
never left the islands ever until I was 20.
mhm,
So it was a time to really venture out. Hawaii is one of these places where everyone comes through. So
mm,
I would attend and visit remarkable teachers who would come through and teach or lead a seminar, and I would attend so many of them. But I was really drawn to the teachings that were coming out of the whole, how would you say, the diaspora of so many Tibetans coming out of Tibet.
uh-huh.
And so I wanted to go study with them in person.
My cat wants to be in the interview today.
I'm a cat person. I saw his tail first.
And he is okay, he's gone now. So, so that interest and being, I guess, exposed to different to different people and different philosophies, and then um, getting introduced to Buddhism started the next leg of your journey, I imagine.
Yes, I I really wanted to explore it deeply,
Hmm.
and opportunities kept coming. So being a nun in a small nunnery, I had to learn Tibetan in order to communicate with people. So my Tibetan's still rather rudimentary, but I can gossip like heck. And really there are some fine translators coming out with the nuances of philosophical ideas and the um, the different topics that they present. So I love the study.
Hmm.
However, working now for 14 years as an interfaith hospice chaplain, that stretches my heart even more
Mm,
because everybody's journey is unique and they all have their own views about faith, journey, spirit, etc. There are people who are staunch atheists
mm,
or agnostics, but have remarkable joy in their lives. And what
yeah.
was that? How have you done your journey? So I've been really working with that, and and sometimes the joy gets hidden when you are filled with grief at end
Mm,
of life or having to say goodbye to all that you created.
yes.
And so my work is really, how can we go to that place of joy again, of a gratitude, appreciation, and look back at our life uh, with acknowledging all that we did, all the people who supported us,
Yes.
and then to go out with a peaceful heart.
Yes. Yes. And so it's beautiful that you are a container for people when they are approaching the transition in their lives. And so, a a a chaplain hospice.
in hospice.
How are you, like, what, I have a couple of friends who have lost loved ones, to COVID, and so that's a sudden, that's a very sudden loss. How are you able to kind of hold the space for families who, it's not so much that it's an expected loss, it's something that happens kind of suddenly. So how are you able to support families who go through something like that?
Part of it is to realize that it can happen at any time,
Mm,
whether we're well and healthy or young, it can still happen.
yeah.
And when I was training in chaplaincy, there was a section for women whose babies have passed and they're still in the womb,
Mm,
and how they generally try to put them in a different wing so that they're not hearing the cries of new babies being born.
mm,
And it's so important for us, no matter what age or work or where we live, to be prepared that it could happen at any time,
mm,
and to realize how precious every day is,
yes.
because we can't guarantee, none of us can guarantee that we're going to be here next week.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
I think the preparation is good, but it always affects the heart. I was just reading my messages from work today,
Hmm.
and I had gone to see this woman Thursday, and she took the medical aid in dying
Hmm.
this morning. So I got the message that she passed. So that's another one, another reality in our lives where people are making that decision
Mm,
to um, realize that decline is the only thing ahead for them, and they
hmm.
choose to take the meds to leave now
Hmm.
rather than worse.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like what hearing you share that makes me think of like conscious dying. You're making a conscious decision to make your own transition.
Yes.
Yeah, and in doing that, I love the title of your book, the three regrets. And could you just share a little bit about what led you to write that and what the three regrets are inviting us to explore?
Thank you. Yes. Well, here's the book, The Three
Beautiful.
Regrets. I want to send one to you, by the way.
Thank
Um,
you.
and it's inspirational stories and advice for love and forgiveness at life's end. And the three regrets are that I chose, because there are many,
Mm,
is did not live your life's dream,
mm,
did not share your love, and did not forgive.
mm,
And I countered that with stories of people who were able to come to that and resolve those regrets before they passed away.
beautiful.
So I wanted to be on a high note. The title, Three Regrets, was actually a suggestion from my entrepreneurial brother. It's like, people are going to say, do I have those three regrets? Like, and they'll pick up the book.
So, those of you who don't know, Tenzin's entrepreneurial brother is Richard Kiyos
Robert. And
Robert
he
Robert.
wrote the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and
Yes.
nobody wanted it. He had to self publish.
And now look, right? I think that was probably one of the first books I read around getting rich. That's what I thought it was about. Because the title makes you think that, but it's so much more than that, right?
It's a mind state
Yes,
and
yes,
our attitude, and that's what this work is all about too, and your work too.
yes,
It's like, how do we eke joy out of even difficult circumstances and suffering,
right,
and use this precious day?
yes. It
So,
is. We do have a choice in the matter, don't we?
absolutely.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
And sometimes we're pressed really hard to make a joyous choice.
Yes,
It's
yes,
there.
yes. It's always there. It's
Yeah.
always
The,
there.
the lessons keep on coming.
Yes, yes, yes. And so, Tenzin, when I was on your website, something caught my attention strongly, and it was two questions that you have on the website, and it says the three regrets. Ask the question: can you strive to live fully, knowing that life will end? That is so profound to me. Can you strive to live fully, knowing that life would end? And it also reminds me of Parker Palmer.
Mm.
He has a book called Let Your Life Speak. And in that book, he talks about living life fully, not living life half half dead, not living life half alive, not living life half alive. I think that's how he puts it. And so it reminded me of that. And so when you're in hospice with people, is this a question that they are seeking answers to before they make their transition? Are they thinking about, have I lived my life fully?
Thank you, Reverend Melissa. I should really pose that question more. So often I go into people's homes and I assess how they're holding what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
There, there's such a spectrum. There are those that are in denial, don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't say the H, hospice word, or the
Mm-hmm.
C, the cancer word,
Mm-hmm.
and we just don't mention it. And I was working with a patient saying a prayer, but he was comatose, and I was normalizing the situation. This is going to happen to everyone. We all face this, and just rejoice in having your loving family around you. And I received a message afterwards from the family saying, "You're scaring him talking about death." So we, we have to be sensitive to all the things that arise for not only the patient, but the whole family, because that can really shut things down.
Mm-hmm.
And I just am so honored when families allow me in, even at such a time. So it's an honor.
Yeah.
Um,
So, Tenzin,
question,
yeah, go ahead.
question. Um, there are some people who bring this beautiful attitude of living every day, even when they're bedbound with tumors in their spine. It's quite inspirational.
Mm, mm. I had a question. My my cat is never like is never this excited. It must be you, Tenzin. It must be something that you're attracting because he's usually not all over me like this when I'm doing the show. But here he is.
Oh,
Here he is.
what's his name?
So Davy,
Davy.
Davy the
Davy.
cat. Yeah, there he is.
I think
All right.
he's wanting to be with you today.
I think so. I think so. Okay. So, okay, you have a workshop coming up. Let's talk
Yes.
about that a little bit. So, the workshop is called The Precious Life Living Well and Dying Well. and
Yeah.
that's happening soon, April 12th and April 19th. So
Yes.
share what is the workshop about and how can people participate?
Well, they can sign up by going to my website, tenzinkiyosaki.com, and letting me know. And then I'll send them the information on it,
Hmm.
um, how to sign up so that we can send them the Zoom link. It is
Okay.
still going to be by Zoom. Um, and I'm asking $45. And for your group, because it was until April 7th that they could bring a friend for free, anyone that signs up and says that they watched us on Reverend Melissa can get it for the two for the price of one.
Oh, nice, nice. Thank you.
Thanks. And I'm going to have it's interactive, a little bit of meditation, some questions, really having people look at what goals are they wanting to accomplish, and so that they're fresh in our minds
Hmm.
to live our lives fully. But with this aspect of realizing that, every day is a gift,
Yeah.
and to use it well, to
Yes.
not just fritter it away. I
Yes.
mean, I have to remember that myself too. And there's a balance between overly busy
Hmm.
and just being a couch potato. So
Yes. Yes. So let me ask you this last question before we go to the next segment. So the work that you do supporting people and their families through their transitions, what does your own self-care look like for you?
mm,
Because that's, I imagine, extending a lot of energy to hold that space for people. So how do you take care of yourself? What are some of your spiritual practices and things you do for your own self-care and nourishment?
thank you. Well, I'm working on this RV up in the Eastern Sierras, and I'm having so much fun with it. And I go for walks and I work part time.
Mm,
I think if I did this part time, it would really be too much for me. It's a good balance just to work part time.
mm, mm,
And the other part of being free is starting to work on my own projects.
mm.
That's inspiring. Yet I'm also inspired by visiting our patients and
Mm.
families. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
There's
Wonderful.
really such a different world there because of the transition people are going through. And one of the social workers who actually invited me to do this work said in hospice, people are transitioning from the physical realm into the spiritual
Spiritual.
realm.
Hmm.
And so often what they say are things you wouldn't hear otherwise. And
Mm,
so that my main job is listening,
mm.
and listening with my heart. So I I'm also recharged by being with them.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. And what just came to me, if you could share just a word of wisdom for people who may be with a loved one who is either in hospice or is making their transition.
Thank you. To speak words that help people feel really good about their lives.
Mm,
I'm from Hawaii. In Hawaii, we say, talk story. And share a time that was really special for you and your loved one. That time you just had that conversation that awakened something about your relationship, your love, your understanding about the world.
yes.
No, gifts.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's get into our next segment, which is our joy questions. So I have three joy questions for you. What does joy feel or look like for you?
joy will fill your whole body, mind, and spirit with tingling, with aliveness,
Mm.
with joy. I think
Ah,
joy is one of those elements that just say, I'm alive.
yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. So, Tenzin, I say that I live life in joy. What do you live life in?
I, I live life in joy also,
Hmm.
and curiosity.
Yes. Curiosity is one of my words for 2022.
Beautiful.
To like whatever I'm curious about, to go ahead and do it. Just take the jump, take those jumps like you've been taking, Tenzin,
Yeah.
and just see what it's all about. The last question: what is your joy song and why?
I love the Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun.
Mhm.
And something about the musical melody, the lyrics, it just wakes me up.
Yeah.
And from my RV, I can watch the sunrise, and it's just a special place. You'll have to come visit me one day,
Oh,
Reverend
I
Willis.
would love that. I would love
It's
that.
like the highest spot. I'm near at the base of Mount Whitney, which is the highest mountain in the continental US,
Oh, wow.
higher than all the Rocky Mountains. And and then just 100 miles in the other direction is Death Valley, which is the lowest spot in the US.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
a magnificent place.
Wow. Well, it sounds very, very beautiful. And I can't wait until you complete. So are you planning on doing like cross country on your RV? Like what are your plans with the RV?
My RV is stationary.
Okay.
I've put a skirt around it. I put it's a garage. It has a garage, so where it drops down in the back, I've put in sliding glass doors so I can see outside. The garage is now my office,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to do a lot of traveling in here.
Yes, yes. Well, that's a beautiful place to explore always within, right? Where everything begins. Tenzin, thank you so much for being with me today. Your presence has been so beautiful. Please, everyone, if you have not picked up the three regrets yet, please do so. Please go to Tenzin's website, tenzinkiyosaki.com, and also sign up for the website because she's extending it 2 for 1, y'all. 2 for 1. So you sign up and you could bring a friend for free.
Just mention Reverend Melissa's
That's
spirit
right.
and practice, and you're in.
You're in. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'll see you
you.
soon. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Tenzin. That was fabulous, everybody. Please, if you need support, who does not want to explore living life more fully? Who doesn't want to explore that? And the workshop is called The Precious Life, Living Well and Dying Well. So April 12th and April 19th. It's at 10 o'clock. It's from 10 to 11:30 Pacific time. Okay? Go to the website and get more information. And please mention Rev Melissa and you'll get 2 for 1. All right, everyone, that is today's show. Please remember to join me on SIP, Spirit and Practice, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, right where you're watching me now. Living Life in Joy every Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And I guess that's it. That's the show, y'all. That's the show. So, peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes. Peace, everyone.